It even has a butter spreader. I did not know that. Pretty big box, actually. This is supposed to hold 1 1/3 stick of butter. Oh, that feels heavy. That's got a nice little weight to it. It's made out of non-toxic porcelain, ceramic, and supposed to be food-safe paint. It's got 31 colors that you can choose from. Well, it's not as big as the box made it appear to be because of all the packaging to make sure it stays safe. It's supposed to be able to store your butter for 10 days before you need to change it out, although with only a stick and a half, I don't see it lasting that long in this house. We use butter all the time. Part of our problem was the fact that because it's not warm, we don't use it as much. But I'll go through stuff that's in the refrigerator like crazy, so if it's warm, I can only imagine. It's supposed to be chip resistant. We can feel it's got a nice little curve to it. That could be nice packed out pretty decently. Yeah, it's got some weight to it. This is what I was looking for. It's got the water line in the bottom to keep the seal and to keep it from going bad, getting bugs, that kind of thing in it. Put that in there. The water says it's supposed to be changed out like every 2 days, where the butter itself can stay for up to 10 days. This doesn't feel as heavy as the lid. That would be cool if it had something like that it stood down in. So we're going to go ahead and fill it now. I've already put the water into the fill line that we have right there. I have been reading about this while I was waiting for the butter to melt because butter has to be melted. The instructions say to fill it with a spoon. Make sure you keep the air pockets out so this way it doesn't have any chance to spoil on the inside, collapse or anything and fall out. It said 1 1/3 stick on the listing, but the actual instructions made it sound like it was 1 stick would fit in here. It says it'll fit about 2/3 of the way. Now I have seen people fill it all the way to the bottom, put it in and put it in the water, and then when they pick it up, drip it off. This one says don't let it touch the water. That's why it wants it to stop. But we're going to pack it down in there. It says to grab it like this, push with a spoon, and as we pack it, you want to rotate to fill it up. And it says small chunks. That was probably too big. But get it down in there. Pack it nice and tight as we go around. And the reason you want to go around is you don't want to just push it in there. It says to purposely rotate it and smooth it as you go to get them pockets out and make sure it clings to every curve in there. Whereas if you just tried to pack it down in there, you're not going to get the areas. Yeah, this looks like it's only going to be about 1 stick. I knew I should have got a bigger spoon. So we're going to pack this, try it for a couple of days, see how long it lasts, change the water out. Make sure nothing molds, spoils, or anything like that. Yeah, it's only going to fit 1 stick. That's cool though. I don't know why it said, I guess all the way to the end you might get 1/3 of a stick. I'm going to follow the instructions so I don't get it in the water. Probably didn't pack this well enough. I want to make sure that as we use it, it's not going to fall out. Multiple times I saw and read different things referring to them falling out of the butter bell, because this is apparently called a butter bell. It also said when you use the spreader not to dig down in there and scoop it out and stuff. You're just supposed to gently scrape like this from the outside and stuff, because if you dig down in there, you risk pulling it out, but you also risk it falling out. So I think I got most of that. It's going to be fun cleaning up off my table. Let's put it down in there. I'm going to have to clean the outside. Pull it out and see what it looks like with the water. I don't feel any water dripping off. It is wet here, so it did create a seal. What I was reading said that the reason you put the water in there is to create a seal to block off oxygen, because oxygen is what's going to make it sour and spoil. So the water absorbs all the different stuff, keeping it off the butter, but also displacing it above it, so this way nothing can get down in there. It filled more than 2/3 of the way with 1 stick, but we are still below the water line. I don't really feel it wet on there, but it also said that it was safe, that if the water touches it, because water can sit for 2 or 3 days without being dangerous and stuff, but you don't want it to sit. The instructions say you can change it every 3 to 4 days, but when I looked it up in other sources, that you don't want to leave it more than 3 days. All right, I hear water dripping off. That's definitely not wet. So even though it's displaced and I have it to the max line, you don't want the butter to get in there, because then it's going to make that cloudy and have that dairy residue and stuff, which will sour the water quicker and stuff like that. These are the new Bombay cutting boards, serving boards we picked up at Ollie's. So that's a video I'm doing. I'm going to skim it, and man, that's spreads so smooth. I mean, of course, because it's warm butter, but considering that for 2 years I haven't used seed oils or anything, we've been sticking solely with butter, no margarine or anything, I haven't had this spreadability in a long time. I've really been talking about getting one of these things for forever, just haven't done it. I'm sure it's going to be fine to go ahead and stick it back in there, but just to keep from contaminating, I didn't read it say this, and I didn't see this online, but we're going to wipe it off with a paper towel, although that might not be the best idea, because who knows if that's going to introduce something, but can't be neurotic. All right, look at that spreadability. Oh, that's going to be so nice for grilling things, and I like to grill all my sandwiches and stuff. Let's try this. That's so good. I know it's the simple things, but that is so good. It's just the right spread of butter on there. All right, so it's day 3. We need to clean it out. Let's check it. It's held in there pretty decent. We haven't used as much as I thought we would. Let's see how the water itself looks and feels. All right, so it's pretty decent. And it feels a little buttery and like it's got some fat in it, like maybe it did fall some in there or touch it or something. You can feel it's not like a slimy, you know, the water itself is becoming a biofilm. It definitely feels like a butter residue, but it does say when you change the water to wash it out real good because of that, so that's expected. Like I said, it's holding in there pretty well. As you notice, it's upside down because I realized that it could sit like that, so you can grab the spreader and you could just leave it out there so people can use it sitting there and scrape from it, and you don't have to hold it. I didn't really pay attention to that to begin with, but we're going to clean it out, change the water, and day 6 check-in, looking pretty good still. We are going to clean the water out. There is some butter down in there, you can feel just like the last time. Water feels fine though. And I forgot to mention that I did leave this stick of butter out next to it to see how that one held up compared to the one that was in the crock in the water. So last check, it is day 9. It needs to be changed. We're gonna see. We didn't finish it off like I thought we were going to, but how did it turn out water wise? Because that's another day. Yeah, it's got some butter down in there. It's a little bit on the rim, so obviously, oh, I feel chunks or something floating in there. This butter that we left out as our test, we're gonna see if it smells and stuff. So the consensus from everybody is this still smells good, like fresh butter. We do have some butter chunks, not big chunks, but like little spots that fell down in there. And this definitely does not seem like it held up for 10 days. Just on the counter with no cover and with the window sunlight occasionally. So that cleaned up amazingly real quick, didn't leave a oily residue, wasn't hard to get clean or anything like that. If you want to get one of these, I left a link in the description. Don't forget, there's 31 colors, so there's probably something that'll suit your kitchen. And watch this video right here. I think you're going to enjoy that one next. Know that I make a small commission if you use them links.